How will Mayak save the planet from space debris? If nothing changes, it's quite probable that in 30 years space flights will become impossible. The problem of space debris is much more serious than it appears. Space debris are remains of spacecrafts, launch vehicles, and so on. They revolve around the Earth at 17,500 miles per hour, which is 7.5 times faster than a bullet. This is the result of a penny-sized bolt hit the ISS at such rate of speed. And this is the result of a particle hit the illuminator. Just imagine how a planet has these things revolve around it right now. 30,000 debris greater than 4 inches in diameter, 670,000 debris with the diameter greater than 0.4 inches, 170 million debris greater than 0.04 inches, and there are just about 1,000 operating satellites in space. Let's not forget about the Kessler Syndrome, a scenario in which collisions between objects could cause a cascade, each collision generating space debris that increases the likelihood of further collisions. Think of the domino effect. Despite all the inaccuracies in the Gravity movie, that's the exact effect the director wanted to show.
Humans can't effectively deal with space debris at the current level of technical advancement. Hi, I'm Janko. I am the project lead of Mayak. While scientists all over the world are trying to solve the debris problem, students of the University of Mechanical Engineering and I want to test a debris prevention system. The project was dubbed Mayak. It is a micro-satellite, which we started to work on in 2014 and launching in summer of 2016. Once its mission is complete, Mayak will not be wandering around in space. It will decay and re-enter the atmosphere using a special pyramid-shaped braking system. Now I will tell you how we came up with this pyramid, how it works, and how it will help Mayak to become the brightest star of the night sky. I will explain why it's a good thing that the satellite will actually burn.
Our braking system is made of delicate film that is 20 times thinner than a human hair. This file is coated with an even thinner aluminum layer. Fun fact, the film is made of polyethylene terephthalate, best known as PET. That's the PET plastic bottles are made of. Or the bubble wrap that is so soothing. While on the launch vehicle, before reaching the orbit, the pyramid is neatly packed inside the satellite. On the orbit, it will unfold to take the designed shape. How can Mayak help with space debris? We all used to think that it's vacuum in space, but it's not quite true. There is still very thin air 600 miles above Earth. It was the reason for Mir station to decay and burn in the atmosphere. It's also the reason for space debris to gradually lose their orbits. The debris cloud is not very dense. Yet the ISS has to correct its orbit once a month to avoid collisions. The higher the satellite, the lower the atmosphere drag. For example, it would take decades for a satellite to decay from an altitude of 500 miles. But everything changed when the satellite has a braking parachute, something that has a large surface area and a small mass. Equipped in such a way, the satellite acts like a feather rather than a pebble. It slows down fast, re-enters the atmosphere, and burns. Mayak's solar reflector is exactly the type of a parachute. Without it, the satellite would remain on the orbit for years, getting in the way of other spacecrafts. Just like a guy at the party who is too exhausted to dance, yet won't leave the floor. So, why the pyramid? It will help to effectively reflect the sun rays and to make Mayak the brightest star in the sky. This is our dream. Just imagine how it would feel to light up a star of your own. We are making the reflector a regular tetrahedron, a pyramid with each edge of 9 feet long. One could argue that a sphere would be the most obvious shape for a satellite that's being made to blare. We all know how shiny Christmas ornaments are, and those are spheres coated with a silver solution. However, at the second look, this idea is far from perfect. A sphere reflects light evenly in all directions. Christmas ornaments are seen from different angles, so it makes sense for them to be shaped that way. In space, our Mayak will be surrounded mostly by bleak nothingness, and its only audience, at least as far as we know now, will be below it on the Earth's surface. This created requirement for the reflector to be directional and to reflect sun only in one direction, ideally towards Earth. Another idea was to make the reflector a specular flat disk. However, after crunching numbers, we realized that the spot of reflected light will be too focused and will rarely reach a particular spot on the planet. It wouldn't be as rare occasion as DiCaprio winning Oscar, but still. In the end, we decided to increase the number of edges of the reflector to scatter reflected rays. We developed special software that calculated areas of the planet from where the satellite could be seen. It also evaluated how bright it would appear to viewers in different parts of the areas. We analyzed different shapes in this program: a flat edge, a regular pyramid, and an icosahedron. We also found the dependency of the rate of satellites blinking and the rate of its revolution. Another important aspect of the reflector is the size. The initial plan was to make the edges of the pyramid about 23 feet long. This would result in an apparent magnitude of -9 m at 450-mile altitude. This is a common altitude of the sun-synchronous orbit, which is used by many imaging and weather satellites. Our theoretical calculations promised that the folded pyramid with edges of 23 feet would fit in a cube 4 by 4 by 4 inches. However, when it came down to a physical prototype, it turned out that the film takes up 3.5 times more space than we initially estimated. It's like packing for a vacation and realizing nothing fits in the suitcase. The problem was solved by shortening each edge to about 9 feet. We researched numerous deployment systems for the reflector. We could write a separate book on it, but we suspect there are not too many fans of solar reflectors out there. One of the solutions we tried was ammonium carbonate, more commonly known as Baker's ammonia. It's used as a raising agent in the food industry. When heated, this white powder turns into water, ammonia, and carbon dioxide. We planned the gases to expand and inflate the reflector. We designed the unfolding structure, conducted experiments with ammonium carbonate, and made a reactor that would stimulate the reaction with electric heating elements. Everything was going well, but it turned out our PET film has micropores and deflates over time. To make things worse, ammonium carbonate turns back to powder in low temperatures and doesn't create pressure. Fortunately, we had a plan B. The aerospace industry has been using elastic elements to deploy antennas and stabilize satellites for years. Even you have used them in everyday life. We're talking about rulers, not these rulers, these. Our plan was to employ 3 of these 9 feet long rulers to unfold the reflector. Trust us, it wasn't simple to fit them inside a tiny satellite of 4 by 4 inches across.
Why didn't we go with this better option from the beginning? That's because pneumatic structures typically are more compact when folded, which means we would be able to pack a bigger reflector inside our miniature apparatus. Now we're putting together a production unit of the satellite and getting it ready for the orbital launch in mid-2016. Our satellite will be one of the few microsatellites that will be taken to space as a part of the Canopus VIK launch. Support our project on Kickstarter and be a part of the operation to save the planet from the growing space debris cloud. May the space be with you.